Don't worry, I got you covered. The 12th annual SEO Rockstars was a smash hit, and now you can relive every moment with the comfort of your own space. Introducing the SEO Rockstars 2023 video recordings. Get ready for a digital SEO revolution. Witness the genius of the industry leaders like Dory Friend, Techabytes, and more. They share the strategies that can transform your SEO game. With a few clicks, you can access these individual insights whenever you want. Don't miss out on this golden opportunity to supercharge your SEO skills. Be the SEO rockstar that you were meant to be. Visit SEORockstars.us and grab access to these remarkable video recordings today. Hey, what's up everyone? Happy Monday. Very special time for this very special guest. Today we got DC Glenn. Be sure to get your shouts out. Let me know where you're watching from. We'll be talking about SEO for artists, how to build your knowledge panel, all kind of great stuff from DC. I got DC in the back already. What's up, my man?
Yes, sir.
Be sure to get your shouts out ready. So how was Rockstars?
Rockstars was incredible.
Nice, nice.
Always good to be around people who are like-minded and people who we're all on the same path. And it's remarkable how we figure out ways to help each other.
Love it.
It's just an incredible experience. And I would advise people who truly want to learn SEO, you got to be in the building. You got to show up.
Oh, yeah.
When you show up, your SEO, you realize that you got work to do, but then you realize your SEO gets better every place you show up. So we're all professionals, grinding, looking for new paths to mastery. And I had a ball.
Love
I'm tired
it.
because I just got off a plane, but I am here and ready to spit this game to everybody.
Love it. Freddie says happy Monday.
Yeah.
Luther says hi. Check this out. We have Mike Merlino. Brother Mike says, yo, Dre, at the airport now, was just with DC. Will be a great show. Did you guys just you guys literally just came from the airport?
We literally just left each other. Me and him was talking no more than 12 hours ago.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah.
Mike Pierce says 1993 at the mall playing pool with the song playing in the background. Best SEO video ever. It hasn't even been started. Oh yeah, my brother Mike. We got Stefan. Hi everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome Stefan. Thank you for coming every Monday, Friday, whatever day I show up, you show up, my man. Love it. Don't be shy, guys. Say hi in the live chat. Let me know where you're watching from. Kenneth says, what's up, DC and Dre? Nicole, watching you live from Cantonina, Sicily. Woo-hoo-hoo! It's a little late for you, and thank you for showing up, Nicole. I've seen you here like every week. Actually, this is twice in less than a week, right? Because I just had one on Friday. Lovely, lovely. Thank you for coming by, showing your support. We got about 5 more minutes to go. Let me know where you're watching from. Say what's up in the live chats. You know, I'm feeling so nostalgic. You know, we got DC up in here, and I just check this out. I just got this in the mail today. If you guys don't know what this is a VCR player. This is something where I was gonna start dubbing my old VHS tapes, and I got this on eBay, so I can like connect this and digitizing my old videos. But man, this takes it back. Kobe, whoop! There it is. If you guys are watching on LinkedIn, Twitter, or on Facebook, if you have any questions, you can try adding it on LinkedIn. I may see it, but If you want to get, for sure, have your question seen and read and asked, please come on to YouTube. Yo, yo, yo. Awesome guest today, Dre. What's up, DC? Skylar Samuel says, good morning, everyone. DC, the brain supreme. What's up, Fletcher? Alright guys, we got about 3 more minutes to go. Get your shouts out. Get your questions ready. Hello from Seattle, Washington. Hello, Carol. Can't wait to hear what you mentioned about me on the SEO video show in your presentation. If you're just tuning in, we got DC Glenn of Tag Team. We'll be talking about SEO for artists and entertainers. Be sure to get your shouts out and your questions ready. We're going to learn DC's SEO journey. I got a bunch of questions lined up, so be sure to get yours lined up as well, and I will address them in the order that they are received. You know, I actually thought that was some kind of filter that you had going on, like some kind of like glass filter, to like look like you're like in this cube.
Hey man, I was freaking out. I was like, man, it's always something. Big old tall glass of cold water.
If you guys did, actually,
I thought you had a filter on. I was like, man, what filter is this? Is this gonna take out the background? I was like,
yeah, that's what I thought you were doing too. You guys, if you guys did, you guys missed it because before the show we were trying to figure out what was blocking DC's camera, and it looked like she was going through this glass, and we found out his glass of water was in front of the camera. Brian Cato says DC.
All right, Cato, master. Yep. Talk
all right, guys.
Jedi.
Ooh. Yeah, Brian be dropping them knowledge bombs.
Yep.
All right, guys, we got less than a minute to go, guys. I'm gonna get things ready here. I'm gonna start slowing things down and get started. And DC, I'm gonna go ahead and put you on mute, and I'll introduce you in about 8 minutes.
All right.
All right.
Hey, time to get it started, no delay, let's work. Wanna see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre de Vera, steady dropping knowledge. Over 15 years in the game, so he knows all about it. Master the art of SEO, you will be amazed. Time to get your brand off page to on page. Dropping knowledge, legendary for sure. Whether you're just getting started or self-employed entrepreneur. Yeah, let's go. Subscribe to the SEO video show. Hey.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the SEO Video Show where SEO is alive and fun. My name is Paul Andre de Vera, aka Dre, and I curate SEO videos released from the past week into about 1-minute clips. My favorite part of the show is when I get to introduce my guest, and my guest this week is the one and only DC Glenn of Tag Team. Before we get started, let's say what's up to everyone in chat. I see Greg, Brian, Carol, Fletcher, Skyler, Ernesto, Kobe, Kenneth, Stefan, Freddie. Welcome everyone. Please don't forget to support the channel by liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell. Now let's get on with the show.
Hey Dre, what kind of fruit do SEOs like best? Low-hanging fruit.
There was no significant updates from Google this past week, other than completing the October 2023 spam update. So now you can start your investigations. Jaume Ros posted on SEMrush channel how to build high-quality backlinks for Proven SEO Strategies. Let's check one out.
Imagine someone mentioning your brand or business in their content but not linking back to you. These are unlinked brand mentions, and they represent low-hanging fruit in the world of link building. Why? Because with just a little nudge, many site owners are more than willing to convert that mention into a clickable link. And one way of harnessing the power of unclaimed mentions is with a monitoring platform like Prowly. Prowly's news alerts are designed to help you spot these unlinked mentions. Let's start by setting up a new query in the tool. Then choose the brand option and input the term or name you want to monitor, like SEMrush, for instance. Then decide how you'd like to be notified. For our purposes, select a new mention alert to be informed of fresh unlinked mentions. You can also opt to track backlinks to your site. If you wish, narrow down your search by selecting specific countries or languages. And once set, the tool will provide you with a list of brand mentions. For every unlinked mention you spot, it's time to do some outreach. Contact the page's owner or author and kindly ask if they'd be willing to link back to your site.
There's other great tools out there like, Google Alerts. You can actually set up your feed there for keyword alerts. And also another free tool is talkwalker.com. Be sure to check that one out. That's the one that I actually use. How to Pick a Niche in Your SEO Business by Nathan Gotch. Let's check this one out.
One of the best ways to niche down as an SEO business is by location, but don't try to attack a big city right away. Instead, chip away at the smaller cities first, dominate those, and then move into the larger cities as you build more authority. For example, instead of targeting Los Angeles, you could focus on Glendale, dominate Glendale first, and then expand out.
Great advice from Nathan there. If you didn't know, Nathan actually put out a new book, SEO The Entrepreneur. Be sure to check it out. I haven't read it yet. I just got it last week, so check this one out. He also was a past guest on the show, so be sure to search him on the channel. Learn how to get SEO resources and support by Aleyda Solis. Let's check this one out.
So I believe that it is fundamental that we have this alignment and understanding and coordination. Of course, understanding the already existing roadmap and what they are already doing and for what purpose and what are their goals is critical. Then on the other hand, what I have found also to be useful is that whenever I'm providing those initial SEO recommendations and sharing the insights of the findings and the existing gap and the actions to take in order to achieve the results, I use that to set the understanding of SEO, how SEO should be also something positive for their area. If it is their content, it will help them to achieve also their content goals, because their content is going to be viewed by more people and achieve in a better way the results that they want. To get this evangelization layer, I like to do a little bit of like a little webinars with the teams that are expected to be involved, to take that opportunity to, from the understanding that I have of what they're already doing, their roadmap, how I can help them to achieve those goals, and try to slip in that way, not you help me, but I will help you, and let's help each other type of conversation going right from the start.
When I was at Workday, I created tiger teams in each area of the business to help champion SEO. For example, I would get a workmate from each team, like the content team, the demand team, and the digital marketing team, and have regular reporting and strategy meetings, and do actually exactly what Aleyda says, was referring to on showing them the impact of what they are doing, increasing the business with SEO. So they can relay that to other members of their team and get them excited. 2023 EEAT Google Knowledge Graph Update, Codename Killer Whale by Jason Barnard. Let's check this one out.
So the main takeaways today is there was a huge uptake in people, entities, and a huge revision to subtitles, which means you need to double down on EEAT if you weren't already. I like to talk about EEAT as credibility because it makes it much easier for people to deal with outside the SEO industry. So credibility. Google has dropped Wiki. That means that our jobs are much, much easier to do. We don't need Wikipedia. You don't need to be wiki notable in order to get a knowledge panel and to get into the knowledge vault. Finally, entity SEO is now real. And that means that digital strategy must be omni-channel. And at Kalicube, we work on what we call the Kalicube process, and that's multi-channel marketing based on brand, marketing, and SEO in that order. So if you want to know more about the Kalicube process, search the Kalicube process on Google. We should be optimized to rank #1 for that. And if we aren't, more foolers, and we'd better get back to work.
Someone who has a beautiful knowledge panel and a brand entity and brand SERP is my guest today. Please ask questions on the topic and I will address them in the order that they receive. Before we get started, here's a word from our sponsor. Ever wondered how to get your brand noticed? I found the answer with Magic PR. Thanks to Magic PR, my brand now reaches over 300 plus premium news and media outlets. I've seen my news on AP, Bloomberg, Yahoo News, and many more. And it's not just about visibility. With Magic PR's unique SEO process, I've noticed incredible boost in traffic to my site and improved local and organic rankings. From crafting the perfect press release to building a powerful SEO campaign, Magic PR is always there for me. Want to experience the magic of PR? Try Magic PR just like I did. Watch your business reach new heights. DC has been in the music industry for 3+ decades and has an obsession with SEO. He's made musical history with DC, the brain supreme of Tag Team with the multi-platinum hit single and album Whoop, There It Is. He is the owner of a digital marketing company called CLG Investments Inc. He is an entrepreneur at heart and has a passion for empowering, educating, and leaving a legacy of inspiration for his fellow artists. Please welcome DC, the brain supreme.
Yeah.
DC, my man, welcome to the show.
Well, I didn't know I was in a boxing match. I'm ready to go. I'm like, hey.
Love it, love it. Everyone, let's give a round of applause. All right, DC, I'm gonna get right into it. This is the first question I ask all my SEO professionals that come on here in 1 minute or less. How does DC get ranking on page 1 of Google?
Keep it simple. One, look at your competition. First thing I do is look at their on page. I look at their H tags. The key to it all is pristine H tags. If you don't do that, you're leaving money on the table. Second, I look at their schema. And if they don't have schema, you can outrank them. If they have very little schema, you can outrank them. And third, I let my schema dictate the page. Right? So I'll do all that first. Then all you got to do is fill in the blanks with other content that are keyword rich, that are LSI keyword rich, and all relevantly, gumboed together, right? And that is how I do it.
Love it. First knowledge bomb of today. Let's rewind this real quick. Hold on. DC, take us way back into time. When did you first get into SEO?
So I got into SEO because in 2011, I was DJing at the clubs because been a DJ for 40 years. And I got a call from this New York Times reporter who was trying to get me while I was DJing, and she would not get off the phone. And we finally went to the phone. I was like, hey, call me in the morning. So she called me, said, DC, have you looked at the Gawker article? And those who don't know what Gawker is, they're kind of like the first trollers, right, of the internet. It used to be like a blog that wrote provocative articles. And she was like, the world thinks that Barack Obama's in Whoop There It Is, the music video. And they took a little snippet, one frame, this cat named L.A. Snow, who's from a group called Deuce, who was in our video, but he looks just like a young Barack Obama. And you can look it up. Just type in tag team Barack Obama or Whoop There It Is, Barack Obama. And it was a whirlwind. Everybody was calling. We did ABC, NBC, Stephen Colbert's show. Jeannie Most did an expose on us, headline news, the whole nine, all the high media things for about 2 weeks back then. 'Cause, we played with it. And at the end of the 2 weeks, I was pissed.
Why?
Because I didn't have no money in my pocket. And in my life, when traumatic things happen, I vow that they'll never happen again. And thus, that started my SEO career because I had no presence online. Tag team, we were buried, right? You type in tag team back then, it was all tag team. So my SEO journey spanned years because I just went back to the streets with it. And as a club promoter and all the street guerrilla tactics that you would use, I started incorporating SEO. And you typed in tag team back then, the first thing I had to do, and this is what a lot of people have to do but don't want to do it, is disambiguate tag team wrestling from tag team the music group. Disambiguate tag team Sally and Judy, the real estate duo, from tag team the music group. Disambiguate tag team Pokemon from tag team the music group. And now if you type in tag team, it's all me, except for kind of the news and things like that where they do more than I do, but it's going to either be me first or Wikipedia first, or Wikipedia first and me first.
Love it. Love it.
I got started. Out of, you could look at the glass half empty or you look at the glass half full. And I'm a hustler. And I want it to be hard because I know nobody's going to do it. So when it comes to SEO, I love to learn the things that everybody doesn't want to learn, right? From Wikidata, Wikipedia, schema. And these are the things that everybody's like, I'll just get somebody to do it. I'll just need a tool. I do this. And I'm like, I'm going to learn that from scratch. And that's what I did. And now, those things that everybody else can't stand, I am masterful at. And that is my edge.
Love that. Okay, so I want to now that you got interested in it, like how'd you actually learn it then? Like what were your resources like back then when you first started learning it after that?
Oh, it was brutal. Because SEO, here's what makes SEO hard for people. You have to think backwards, right? As to me, this is how I explain SEO people. SEO is getting in front of the people who can pay you, getting in front of the people who need your services, getting in front of the people who need your help. Because in the end, Google has a robot, and Google is a search engine. So everybody gets up every day and types something that they need or that they want or that they desire into Google. And if I'm not on the other side to answer that question, be that service or be that person, I am leaving a lot of money on the table. And where people get it misconstrued is that as an SEO, we get to see where all the traffic is with the various tools that let you know what keyword research or keywords have the most traffic. Now, I'm not looking to, be accurate in traffic. I used to, but I've always been good at keyword research. But now it's about the relevance. It's about how many ways can I squeeze out relevant terms and implement them on the page, right? So now, instead of just trying to have keywords on the page, they're all relevant. And there are 1,000 ways to ask the same question. Real quick example. I'm redoing my brother's website. And he's like, why are you using pediatric dentistry? Why don't you use pediatric dentistry? Why are you using children's dentistry? I said, because you dentists argue over pediatric dentistry. But if a mother, you know, kid's outside playing, he busts his mouth and he pops his tooth out, she's not thinking I need a pediatric dentist. She's like, I need a dentist for my kid.
Yeah.
My kid just busted his mouth. He needs a dentist. I need a children's dentist. I need an emergency children's dentist. I need this type of dentist. And that's a perfect segue into what ChatGPT is so good at, is that I can take the term dentist and create a prompt and say, give me 50 other terms that mean this word, then take it in and put it in my tool and strategically find every word that has those other words in the keyword. Now I've got thousands of relevant keywords that I can implement on the page, and Google knows exactly what I'm talking about. And then not only does Google give you what you want, but Google goes out in the universe and pulls everything back relevant and gives you that love, because it's a robot. It's not in its feelings. Google gives you the recipe. So what are you going to be, a short order cook or a 3-star Michelin chef? And I choose the latter, because I cook my ass off.
Excellent!
Love that. So I mean, even back then when you were learning it and, you know, figured things out, was there anyone like you actually followed at the time?
So who got me started? I mean, I was in everything, but who really took me under his wing was Jeffrey Smith. And that brother's cold-blooded, right? Like, he taught me a lot about SEO. Cat named Marco B. He taught me a lot about SEO. He's with the Semantic Mastery
Benavides.
Right? Like, I learned from anybody or everybody that I could find a course from. But if you don't learn how to think SEO, it is difficult to learn SEO. So you have to think backwards, right? And if you think backwards and you try to answer the questions that people have, that's how SEO works. So it took me a while to get a grasp on it, right? But then once you do learn something, the tendency is to go overboard, right? So you learn, if I learn schema, once I learn schema, I'm trying to write 3,000 line schema for my pages when I don't even need that much, right? So as human nature goes, we all have these little idiosyncrasies that kind of starting out make us do things crappy, but you just have to learn and you have to stick with it. And once you start, this is one thing I wish I had done back then, is start going to all the conventions, all the meetings, I wish I'd have been SEO Rockstars back then. I wish I had went to all these different things, because that would have bridged that gap to SEO mastery. So if there's any advice I got for people, Lisa Parasal has a not convention, but it's an online, you know, mastermind master class, not class, but it's her meeting, her annual meeting, this January, but you got SEO spring training coming up too. So start finding out where all these SEO conventions, these meetings, everything, find out where they're at, and then start meeting the people in the room. Because I guarantee you, when we finished on Friday, I was just gonna go to my room, but I ended up drinking a shot of tequila, and I don't even drink. And then I stayed there talking SEO from 5 o'clock all the way to 10:30 at night. Me and Ted Kabitis closed down the club, right? But I learned so much within that 6 hours of staying after we had all our speakers and everything, that I'm just, when I get there, I'm like, I'm good at SEO. But when I leave there, I'm like, I got work to do.
Love it.
That's what keeps going, right? And then you get to go back and teach everybody what you've learned. And because of you, I gotta tell you this, because of you, I taught this technique that is going to change everybody's SEO game.
What is
when I refine it. And it's, everybody couldn't believe when I gave it to in my presentation. So, I try to tell people, don't get intimidated because you are enough. That's what you tell me in acting, because I'm an actor. So my coach is like, you are enough. And you are, right? Because your expertise in what you do is special. There was nobody in that room who did the same thing. We all did AI differently. We all do SEO differently, right? But whatever weak point you have, you can remedy by going to these forums, these conventions, these meetings, and that is how I came up in SEO. A lot of trial and error though, but that's what it is, testing.
Love that. I want to double down on the comment of like going to conventions and networking. I mean, I met you, in person at Digital Unfiltered, and check it out. He wasn't even speaking. DC wasn't even speaking, and I learned something from him just by talking to him, and which is what I was talking about in last week's episode of building the IMDb, which we'll get into like later on in this conversation. But I want to from there take us now to like the future of like CLG Investments. What is CLG Investments about?
CLG Investments initially was a company because we signed a bad record deal and got beat out some money. And I just vowed that I would never let that happen again. So I just started training myself on finance. I said, I have got to learn finance. I have got to learn about money, right? And I was going to start a hedge fund because I know all the stars, right? So I could start a hedge fund. I could do this. I could do that. That's kind of was the dream. But once I became a licensed commodities broker, out of necessity for me to learn how to invest and make sure my money is even if I get $100, I could turn that $100 into $20,000. You see what I'm saying? Just by investing conservatively and not having it in front of my face, right? Because when we have money in front of us, we will spend it. But if you don't see it, it continues to grow. It compounds, right? And if you don't worry about it. So that was what I was going to start out. But once I became a commodities broker and once I saw what it was, I was like, this is not for me, because I would have had to give up music because there's no way you could do both. It was just the work schedule. So I was like, I got to let this go. But it was a good education in me learning that. So whatever I'm doing, that's CLG Investments Inc. And it comes out of this theory that you run your life like a corporation. And that's how I started. I said, run your life like a corporation. Okay, well, what do we got to do? Well, what kind of corporation you going to be? You're going to be an LLC, you're going to be an S Corp, you're going to be a C Corp. Well, you got to find out which one that you can benefit from, right? Because they change tax laws and business laws all the time, but they change them to benefit people. But a lot of people want to be pissed off at the government talking about they changed the tax code, blah, 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 instead of adapting your business to their changes, because every law that's made is made to benefit somebody. And I just have never been a dude where I expect anything from anybody. I don't expect anybody to give me anything. Because one, nobody's going to do nothing for you. Nobody is going to give you anything. And three, don't nobody care. And once you realize that, your mind is truly free to do anything you want to do in life, because you don't have that stopping you, right? That mindset stopping you. So right now, CLG Investments Inc. is executive producer, actor, PR. I'm my own publicist. I'm my own PR agency. I'm my own, you name it. Anything that I had somebody do for me, I learned how to do. So I don't have to hire anybody, or if I do hire somebody, I know what they're supposed to be doing because I can do it myself.
Love that.
So that's where I'm at right now.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
like what he said.
All right, so I want to get into like, okay, SEO and tag team. When was that moment? I mean, was it that moment? When was the moment that you realized that the power of SEO in the entertainment industry? Was it that moment that you were talking about earlier, or is there any like more moments that you can kind of share with us when you knew the power of
So
SEO?
the Barack Obama,
Okay.
the Barack Obama story started it, and the true validation of it was September 2020 when I get a call from my acting agent, Lena Ramirez, who works at the People Store Agency in Atlanta, Georgia. And she calls me in the middle of the pandemic saying, DC, you booked a Geico commercial.
Oh.
I was like, don't play with me. Why are you playing with me on the phone in the middle of the pandemic? Everybody freaking out and stuff. She was like, no, DC, tag team. Because I was like, I haven't even auditioned for a Geico commercial. She's like, tag team. I was like, oh. And I checked my phone and there was a call from Geico. And DC, we want you guys to be in the new Geico commercial. It's going to be fun. It's going to be called Soup. There it is.
Ooh.
And I was like, Soup. But then they changed it to Scoop, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't wait for me to call them back because all of my profiles anywhere on the internet are optimized.
Oh.
So they found me on IMDb, called my acting agent. Now I don't have to get lawyers or anything. I let them make the deal, and it's the biggest, most lucrative deal I've ever made in my life. And it is the gift that keeps on giving. And because I do the hard things and learn to master them, instead of me just going into a commercial, I said, I'm coming up with 5 things. Actually, I took my auditioning technique for commercials and applied it to this commercial. And that's where the spin and scoop comes from. That's where Spinkles comes from. That's where all the things that make that commercial special come from. And to me, if they can't find me, I don't get to do a Geico commercial that will last forever.
Yeah.
So I keep building entities.
Oh.
And after entity, but me, I started SEO because I already got entities. I got 30 years worth of New York Times, Wall Street Journal articles, all in the big magazines. But how do I turn that into power?
Yeah.
Right. And I'm old school. So what I learned, you take all that stuff and digitize it. And that's what I did. I took all the paper clipping, press clippings, because back then our PR people used to send us a big stack of, we go out to LA, they have a big stack of whatever we did during that month. And I was just sending it to my mom's house. But because we were in a legal battle, I turned it all into discovery. And then that discovery, you know, was kind of for memories, but then those memories turned into entities.
Yep.
Because all I had to do was copy them into Flickr. Now I can dump all my metadata into Flickr plus schema. And now drop those entities, and they're valid because there's a picture of us in Newsweek magazine.
Ooh, love that. Haven't heard that one yet. So guys, Flickr and schema. Can you tell us a little more about that little strategy there? Flickr. Why Flickr?
Because it's the highest domain, has the highest domain authority, and I'm greedy. Okay, so if I'm gonna put, but you can use. What you got to do is you got to take all of them and then find out what the highest domain authority is, right? Who has the most to offer?
Okay.
And really, as far as pictures, who has the highest domain authority is IMDb. Because IMDb is owned by Amazon. And Amazon is one of the biggest companies in the world. And their domain authority damn near is 100, if not, right? So if I dump all this information into my pictures and optimize my pictures, you know, in a pristine way, write my content in a pristine way, and just give all the information about me in that platform, well, that's what triggers the knowledge panel.
Oh, love that. Love that.
Because you got those entities out there, right? And when Google scrapes, if you do it right, boom, you'll have a little bitty, you might have one sentence. But when it triggers, then you can go claim that knowledge panel. Now you get to use several entities out there to start putting your business card together, because that's what a knowledge panel is. It's a business card.
Yep.
And when people type in, you know, with businesses and people want to use your services, they type in your name. It helps to have a knowledge panel.
Yep. And,
you know, like you said, you talked to Jason Barnard. I talked to him too, and he was like, "You don't need my help. You already know what you're doing." I was like, "Man, but I want your knowledge." He was like, "Nah, you know, game recognized game, right?" So when people talk to me, they know I know what the hell I'm doing. But me, I'm like, I'm still want to learn. I want to learn it all. That's how much I love SEO, because I'm a hustler. I love the hustle. I love to learn. I don't feel my age. I feel brand new, because my goal in life is not to let life pass me by, right? And when people are scared of AI because they think AI is going to come and cut their pinky toe off, that just don't make any sense to me. It's like, do you realize that this is the same thing that's everybody, this is the buggy in horse and buggy against the car, right? This is, you know, I've seen a little YouTube video that welding was the #1 industry in the world. And then they stumbled upon gas, right? You know, and now that whole paradigm is gone. So if you're still clinging to the old school ways of doing things, that's fine, because there's nothing better than hustle and word of mouth. But I choose to learn everything I can learn as quickly as possible and use those tools as an extension of my creativity, because this is the greatest language model ever. You know, people say, well, what about this and what about that? I was like, well, you would agree that every word in the English language is in ChatGPT, right? They're like, yeah. It's like, well, then it's up to you to put those words into the things that you need to be. And that's the beauty of it, that AI is only as good as what you put into it. So you better learn something so you know what to put into it, and you teach it, and it teaches you. And then you both come up. You see what I'm saying?
Love that. Love that. And you guys, the IMDb was something that I personally even learned from DC at DC Digital Unfiltered. And I want to talk a little bit more about it, because I've actually, you told me to put, like, you know, the show on there, put myself on there. I mean, I had myself on there, but I didn't put the show on there. So I put the show on there, and I put a podcast on there, because you said they actually take podcasts. And the moment I put the podcast, I started a new podcast after, if you remember, Holly Starks was talking about the AI podcast. So I actually created an AI podcast, and I put that podcast into IMDb, and it triggered a knowledge panel. It triggered a bunch of video carousels, and that's the only promotion I did. So you guys, IMDb, if you don't know what that is, what does IMDb stand for? It sounds something database. Is it something international movie database of people?
Don't give me the line, because I'm still trying. I think it's a international movie database. I can't remember. So but it's where it's so here's the thing: you have IMDb, which is where you can go and type in your name and go look for the stars and go do all that. But then you have IMDb Pro, where you can let the world know who you are. See, everybody looks at me and like, well, DC, you're DC from Tag Team, blah, 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 blah. It's easy for you. And I'm like, see, that's where you're wrong. It's not easy for me. It's hard for me, because I am a minnow in the pond, you know, that got Taylor Swift in it. You see what I'm saying? So it's all about perspective. I will never be able to do what she does. I will never be able to do what Beyonce or any of those big groups do, right? But I can SEO my way to their ass. You know what I'm saying?
Love it.
Because SEO is a whole different ball game, right? SEO is to get in front of the people who can pay you. That's what you do. And I just plant seeds, man. That's all I do.
Love it. So tell us more about those seeds that you plant. I mean, like, what are some other SEO things that you've been doing to, like, gain visibility? I mean, we have IMDb, we have Flickr. What are some other things that you've been doing as, you know, an artist to kind of promote your artist, your entertainment company, you know, everything that you're doing right now?
I mean, stick to the fundamentals on page, and just make sure you outdo whoever the competition is, right? But for artists, it's a little bit more difficult, right? So one thing I'm putting together, you have to know, for me, our bread and butter is, you know, shows, concerts.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I get concerts? Because 6 years ago they were saying, well, you only got one song, blah blah blah. Why should we put you? And I was like, but then this lady in Columbus, Ohio, who runs this arena, was like, you need to join AIBA. And AIBA is the International Entertainment Buyers Association.
Okay.
So instead of trying to deal with the promoters and deal with the booking agents and the talent agents, I go straight to the buyer. And I go to their convention, wear a big Whoop There It Is t-shirt. Me and Chubby Checker, the only black dudes in there out of 5,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
And I start networking. And people see me in a big Whoop There It Is t-shirt like, could it be? Mm-hmm. And when they come up to me, what are you doing here? I was like, well, we got this clean 90s nostalgic rap show.
Yep.
Now see, if I had said, well, I'm a rapper and I'm trying to get shows,
mm-hmm.
they wouldn't have even dealt with me, because when it comes to rap, all they see is insurance. How much
mm-hmm.
insurance I'm gonna have to get, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I said clean 90s nostalgia,
mm-hmm.
it's keywords, right?
Yep.
It's relevance. They know that I am something viable that they can use to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm a part of 30 different organizations, because when I want to learn something, I go and join an organization, because organizations, societies, and associations are filled with people who have been doing their profession and love their profession for 10, 20, 30, 40 years
mm-hmm.
and can't wait to run their mouth about what they do. Those organizations have the resources, they have the people, and they have the love, because it's one of the few places that nobody's hating on you. Nobody's jealous of you. Nobody's envious of you. Everybody wants to help you.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I want to learn something, I join an organization. And we started getting shows instantly, because I know how to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
And people saw my hustle. See, here's the key to people helping you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to let them see you hustle. And that means showing up. So if you see me at every convention, you see me at every meeting, you see me at these mixers, you see me in different states,
mm-hmm.
you see me hustling.
Mm-hmm.
If I show you online through social media that I'm here, there, boom, 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 doing this, I'm showing you that I'm hustling. And now you're interested, because you know I'm putting in the work. And if I deal with somebody who's putting in the work, they got all of me, because I give what I want first. That's why I'm blessed. I don't worry about nothing, right? I'm looking for mastery. I care less about money. I care less about all that. I want mastery, right? So that's why I show up. And that's why I'm doing the things that nobody else will do, because that's my edge over everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm competing with anybody, but if I want something, I know how to go get it. And that to me is what is the essence of SEO.
Love that, guys. If you have some questions, please ask them in the live chat. We're coming close to the end here. I have so much more questions to ask myself. But I want to go into AI. How has AI actually helped within your music marketing efforts?
I don't know, man. There's people who, I don't know. Like there's this one cat. I talked to a lot of people about AI, right?
Yeah.
Especially from the beginning, like November, 2022 is when it really kind of popped off with 3.5.
Yeah.
So I know this person where they couldn't write word crap, right? Mm-hmm. And, they just embraced it and learned it. And now that person writes better than they've ever written in their life,
mm-hmm.
than they ever thought they could have ever written at all, right? This one cat, he had a family reunion to put together. And he put together this family reunion with so many creative ideas that it actually helped the family. When you go to a family reunion, people don't really, if you don't know that cousin, you didn't grow up with them, you're not really, you might talk to them a little bit, but now you got everybody engaged, telling stories about their lane in the family.
Mm-hmm.
And the beauty of all this is that those two people who did that are me. Because when I first got into AI, the first thing I did, I went to prompt base.
Mm-hmm.
And anything I was interested in, we all have goals and dreams. We all have things we need to do, we forgot about. I just bought the prompts for everything that I was interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I reverse engineered those prompts, right? How, you know, you learn the structure of a prompt. You learn what makes a prompt work. You learn how you feed it into the bot, right? And I just don't have one prompt. I've got 1,000 prompts, because the first thing I do is I put it in a proofreading prompt, but then I've got 30 proofreading prompts, because one word can kill a prompt.
Mm-hmm.
So where do I get those words? And it goes back to the old school ways where you have those copywriting books,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
you know, words that sell, marketing words, all those things like that. Those are still the fundamentals of copywriting. Those don't change.
Mm-hmm.
But now that you use those words, I can say, write this straightforward and informational. I could test all these words to see what the output is.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've got 30 words where every piece of every piece of content is unique. And then I just don't see it as a push button thing. I'll write 15 articles and just pull the pieces out of each, because they're all talking about the same thing, but in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So now that article is truly authentic because you like what you're reading. Now it's in your voice.
Yep.
Right. So that's the writing. But then just practically, I have schema. I really ChatGPT writes my schema.
Nice.
Man, how does it do that? Because I know schema.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't know schema, if I couldn't do schema from scratch, I couldn't make schema prompts.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I was saying earlier. I let my JSON LD schema dictate the page, because Google tells you what schema it likes.
Mm-hmm.
So let me use those questions. And not only do I say, write the schema for this, I say, give me a SEO optimized article to it. So it could be for FAQ schema, it could be for how-to schema, it could be for question and answer schema, it could be for, I can take a person's resume. I got a prompt where it turns that resume into person schema. I got a prompt where I can take that person's GMB stuff link and turn it into local business schema. Now you gotta add some things, put some pictures in and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the schema's done.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, you gotta verify. So I go verify in the rich snippets tool and the structured data tool, and it's perfect. Now, what else is there?
Yeah.
So I come up with new ways every day to use AI, because AI is a part of my workflow. And I have a sheet. I have sheets every month.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see so many random different prompts, because whatever I need, I can build my own prompt.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can optimize my prompt, because I've got 15 different prompt optimizers. Now I'm talking geek now. So a prompt optimizer is the same thing as having a web page where the relevance and the copy is brilliant, because it's answering a question, it's giving people information. Mm-hmm. And now it's perfect because you've answered that person's questions. Mm-hmm. I'm writing my first book. Like I would optimize a website. So every title is a keyword, because I could take that title and a picture of the first 5 sentences of that, write a blog post about it, make it totally relevant, and answer the pain points, how to become an entrepreneur, how to get good in business, whatever. And those are the pages that are going to have 50,000, 20,000, 2,000. I don't care how many people it has. You're answering a question
Mm-hmm.
that leads people back to your book. And now you come in with book sales.
Damn! Love it. Let's go into like when you talked about like IMDb profiles, like are there any other profiles like artists should be like looking into like having online to making sure their entities are more visible that you can think of?
Right now it's IMDb. See, here's the difference. You got IMDb, but you got IMDb Pro.
Mm-hmm.
So what you got to do is you have to get a IMDb Pro account, which is $79 a year.
Okay.
Now this IMDb Pro account, this is basically a Google Business Profile Part 2.
Ooh.
That's how it works. Because if you don't fill out your Google business profile right, you can't do local good. You're not gonna, right? You got to fill out all the products, everything that you could fill something out in has to be optimized and filled out for you to have any type of way to outbeat the competition. Because some of the competition, they'll pay for the traffic. But if you do it organically and you make sure all your profiles are filled out right, now you've got, Google Business Profile, you've got IMDb. IMDb is owned by Amazon. If when I type in my name and go to images, all the images are from IMDb.
Yep. Yep.
Everything I've done, here's the beauty of IMDb. Every page in IMDb has schema.
Ooh.
So I can pull that schema off the page, keep the parts that I want. Perfect example. If I pull the schema from Elf, well, it's going to give all this information. But the ones I need is actor Will Ferrell, actor James Caan, director Jon Favreau, soundtrack DC Glenn, tag team. Drop that in my person schema. Now I create that synergy when Google crawls. Now at the bottom where it says people also look for, Will Ferrell might pop up, Jon Favreau might pop up. Then they see me connected to them. Now they're like, oh shit, DC's doing it. They don't know how, but they're like, he was in that movie. I have over 50 credits where the song is in it, me being an actor, and now podcast series. Television podcast series can be a television series. Television series can be podcasts, right? But you don't go in and fill out like you're SEO. You go in and fill out like you make the stars' websites better. You can't say SEO. You can't say digital marketing because they're just like Wikipedia and Wikidata. There are people who control it. So they're looking for people to manipulate it, and they don't want to let that happen because that's how misinformation happens. That's why they're so hard on it. But you can tell people that you support the whole publicity realm. You are the website builder for the publicists. You are the website builder for all the artists. You are the website builder for the movie stars. You are the website builder for everything. You are what you are. And then you go fill out all of your information. Because if you got SEO in your podcast or in your company, that's cool. But don't be like, I'm the greatest SEO ever. Be like, I'm use terms that people understand. Nobody knows what SEO is except us. Right? But all people want to make their website better. All people want to know how to do social media better. You can say, we can help you with social media. We can help you with this. We can help you with this. But when they go to contact you, they're contacting your SEO company. And now you have a plethora of things that you can provide, of services that you can provide for them to help them become a better actor, to help them become a better producer, director, and be seen. And publicists are going to bring that to you because now all those press releases and all that publicity that they do are entities. You take those entities and now you can make them shine because we know SEO. Come on.
Love that, guys. I'm coming very, very close to the end of the episode here. Thank you so much. But I want to quickly make sure we talk about. Are there any what do you see like SEO and AI now happening with the entertainment industry and music industry? What are some of your thoughts that people some artists should be looking out for, and how should they be using it?
Nothing, because here's the thing. Everybody who's a movie star, everybody who's director, producer, all those people are expecting people to do stuff for them, right? Artists expect people to do stuff for them. This is where I changed from that. When I'm sitting in a movie theater 2003 and I'm watching, Will Ferrell dance on the table to Elf to my song, and I didn't even know the deal was made. And I could have got really upset. I could have became an old bitter rapper. But I realized that it is up to me to go get my money. So if it's up to me to go get my money, let's go. Because I'm different. I don't care how hard it is. I play offense. I plant seeds. right? I think solutions. I thrive in the bizarro world. I thrive in the upside down. And I want to challenge everybody. And I do this everywhere I speak, everywhere I go. Find the positive in the negative, because that's where the nuggets are, right? Find the positive in the negative. If you got an agency, people are like, I can't stand all my clients. I can't stand this because they say I'm not doing this, and they always think they want to know SEO. But I'm like, I've looked at all your sites and how you do your SEO. What if they were right? What would you do about it? People don't ask that question. I ask that question. If somebody says something about me, I'm like, okay, they don't know what they're talking about, but what if they were right? What would I do about it?
Oh,
That's gold, because now you've got that tool that you just built in your brain to put in your pocket. Now you are truly ambidextrous in life because you can solve any situation. That's why I love AI, because AI has infiltrated me. And now I think like ChatGPT. I think as a prompt when I have real life situations that hit me, because I know how to break it down line by line and ask for what I want line by line and don't leave anything out. And then that bot gives it to me. So now when I'm thinking something on the fly, it is just idea after idea after idea after idea coming in my brain. This whole IMDb thing, when we talked, we were doing it, right? But now, in the last 3 days, it turned into something truly remarkable. Because in SEO Rockstars, I told everybody to type in their name to IMDb. And you want to know what the everybody had one credit. You know why? Because everybody has been on your show.
Oh yeah.
Now they can go get an IMDb. Now they can go pay IMDb Pro. And keywords stuff the hell out of their profile. And now Google crawls all that and now dumps all the stuff that they want into the knowledge panel. Because if you're doing a podcast, you are a producer. You're an executive producer. You are the talent. You are all these things that you can say you are because it's true. You don't have to manipulate the system. You don't have to do any black hat stuff. All you got to do is create a different story.
Love that.
We're not SEO experts. We make people's websites better, right? We show people how to get in front of society. We show people how to create trends. All these words are the same as SEO. So why not use that plethora of words to let the world know who you truly are? Now you get to pull from this pot, that pot, that pot, that pot. And now you flourish because you thought differently. This is the greatest language model ever and always will be. So I don't fear ChatGPT. I don't fear AI, right? Because what's going to happen is going to happen. I'm worried about all I can control is what I do. And I choose to hustle and learn everything I can learn about anything that's new so I can get my money.
Love that, guys. Love that. I didn't see any questions come in here. And this is my last question that I ask all my SEO professionals that come on here. If someone wants to get into the SEO game, become an SEO professional themselves, what would your one piece of advice be to them?
Show up at a conference. Show up at a conference or type in anything that has to do with me, DC Glenn, tag team, boom, 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 send me an email and I'll think about it even more and provide a path for you. Because if you show up at a conference, you're going to meet people and it's going to be Chinese to you. It's going to be, you're not going to understand the language because that's the hardest part is the language. But the best way to get good at the language is to hang around the people. If I want to learn to speak Spanish, let me move to the Dominican Republic for 6 months. Because to survive, you better learn the language, right? So start listening to podcasts, start, you're going to be confused because everybody thinks their way is the best way. But when you go to these conferences, you realize that everybody thinks their way is the best way because it's the best way for them. It's custom. So now you get somebody else's custom thing they made for themselves and apply it to what you do. Now it becomes custom to you. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I would advise. You got SIA, you got SEO Rockstars, you got Spring Training. There are a lot of good SEOs out there that can teach you. And they all offer courses. They all offer masterminds, and the ability to get in a mastermind and just ask questions. Don't be scared to ask questions. Just make sure when you ask a question, say please. Because when you say please, or just ask for help, everybody that has taught me, I was like, I just need some help. What's it going to cost me? It's like, it's going to cost you nothing, because you didn't come at me with any ulterior motives. You genuinely want to know what I know, so I'm going to teach you. And everybody has taught me because I say please. It's the fundamentals of being a man and demanding your respect. You demand your respect by giving respect. And when you ask somebody for something, say please, and they will give you the world. It's that simple.
Love that. Love that. So many knowledge bombs dropped today. I mean, for this episode to feel complete for you, how can, any last words? The stage is yours. How can people get a hold of you?
Just type in DC, tag team, whoop, there it is, and you'll find me. All my socials are the same. They're optimized. DC Glenn ATL. All tag team socials are optimized. Tag team won't. Right? And I can only finish this episode with one word. Sprinkles! Peace. Thank you for having me on, man. I just love to run my mouth. We could go for 4 hours right now. But I appreciate everybody in the SEO world and everybody listening, and salute.
Thank you so much. Can you hold on for one quick second while I sign off here? Just one quick second. All right, guys, that concludes another great episode of the SEO Video Show. Please support the channel by liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell. And don't forget to visit our sponsors, SEO Rockstars, magicpr.com. Check those sites out, and I will see you next week. Peace out.
Thank you for watching. Hope you come back next week. Make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss a thing. Hope you learn something new, because the vibe is incredible. From the special SEO professionals, SEO video show. Let's work. Want to see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre DeVera helping you step it up. No delay right now. Time to level up. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Woo!